You think the money in your hands belongs to you. You think your savings are safe. But right now, a silent force is cutting that value in half. Without your permission, your life energy is being systematically drained. Welcome to the grandest financial illusion, the big inflation lie. They told you inflation is natural, a sign of a healthy economy, like a bad storm or a drought that nobody could possibly control, and you believed them. You cut your expenses and worked harder. But inflation is not a natural disaster. It is a man-made technology. It is activated by a deliberate, calculated push of a button. Deep inside central banks, the printing machine never stops. Every day, they inject trillions of unbacked digital numbers into the grid. When you flood the pool with cheap water, every individual drop loses worth. They are diluting the buying power of every dollar you earn. But here is the catch. The new money goes to them first. Mega corporations and commercial banks get to spend it before prices rise. By the time those fresh dollars reach you, prices have already adjusted. You are trapped on a financial treadmill. You work longer, but the goalpost moves. Because you accumulate currency designed to melt, instead of owning real assets. The game is rigged. You cannot win when the referee creates rules from thin air. Stop playing by their terms. Understand the true nature of the cage. Printing money is only half the theft. The real trap snaps shut at the bank. You think that when you borrow money, you take someone else's savings. That is a lie. The bank creates that currency instantly out of nothing. With a single stroke on a keyboard, your massive debt is materialized. They call this fractional reserve banking, lending what they don't physically have. For every single dollar they hold, banks can legally manufacture 10 more. You walk out with a new asset, blind to the loop around your neck. You didn't just sign a contract. You signed away 30 years of life. You traded decades of sweat for currency printed in exactly 1 second. Think about the asymmetry. You break your back. They press one button. This is why you cannot quit your job. You feel permanently exhausted. You are not a citizen in a free market. You pay synthetic debt. And the most brilliant part, they made debt look like a status symbol. The luxury car, the big house. They are badges of servitude. If the system stops growing for a month, the house of cards collapses. There is never enough currency to pay back both principal and interest. The system forces more printing, causing more inflation, requiring more borrowing. It is a perfect financial loop designed to consume everything you produce. To break out, stop looking at debt as a tool for leverage. See it for what it truly is, an invisible prison for your labor. Who benefits from this printed money first? Welcome to the ultimate economic weapon, the Cantillon Effect. New currency doesn't distribute evenly. It has a starting point. Central banks, mega corporations, and Wall Street receive it first. Giants like BlackRock spend these unbacked billions before markets react. They buy real-world housing and land at yesterday's low prices. But as that money circulates, an artificial wave follows. This massive influx drives the prices of everything up. By the time fresh dollars reach your salary, the damage is done. You pay tomorrow's inflated prices with yesterday's stagnant wages. This legal trick transfers real wealth from the bottom to the top. Inflation hides the theft, but this effect is the engine. This is why the middle class is turning into a myth. Multi-trillion-dollar funds printing their own leverage will always outbid you. They turn a nation of property owners into permanent renters. Your currency melts every second it sits in a bank. In a fiat system, saving cash is a guaranteed loss. By holding currency, you let them steal your past labor. The wealth gap isn't about talent. It's about access to the tap. They have the tap. You have the bill. How do we escape? To fix their printing press, they are preparing the final upgrade, removing physical cash. Welcome to central bank digital currencies. This is a government-controlled ledger disguised as money. With cash, your transaction is private. With CBDC, every coffee you buy is tracked. But it gets worse. Programmable money means they control exactly how you spend your labor. Bought too much meat? Your carbon limit is exceeded. Your digital wallet instantly locks. They can introduce expiration dates, use your savings by month end, or watch them evaporate. Criticized policy online? Your social credit drops, and your purchasing power is throttled. They can restrict your money geographically. Try to travel, and your funds simply vanish. This is the ultimate tool for compliance. You don't need police when you control the oxygen. The inflation we discussed was Phase 1. CBDC is Phase 2. Permanent, automated obedience. They want a world where nobody can fund a protest or buy independence. The cage is built under the banner of convenience. Billions will willingly download their own shackles. When they own the ledger, they don't just own your currency, they own your behavior. Push back, and they will simply delete your economic footprint. You will have zero options to barter or hide. The door to the physical economy is closing fast, but as long as the old grid operates, there is still a narrow window to escape. It is time to reclaim your future. You cannot fix a rigged system. The only option is to stop playing. First, kill your dependence on their credit. Debt is their trap. Starve the beast. Pull your wealth out of banks and buy real assets. Gold, land, or decentralized infrastructure. Own what they cannot print. Build your own grid. Use peer-to-peer networks and private loops. When millions stop fueling their machine, the trap breaks. They want you weak and indebted. Rebellion is being self-sufficient. Opt out of the social credit matrix. Guard your privacy like life. The elite only have the power you hand them. Take it back. The exit door from their maze is still open. Walk through it. Stop looking for political saviors. No government will save your wealth. True freedom is built on production. Produce more than you buy. Disconnect from the mainstream feed. Turn off the manufactured panic. Build micro-communities. Rely on real trust and assets you can touch. The fiat illusion is terminal. It relies on infinite compounding debt. The clock is ticking. Stay on the treadmill or prepare for the drop. Stop validating their paper lies with your limited lifetime. Step out of the digital cage. Reclaim your labor and mind. Knowledge is the first step, but execution creates the builders. The old paradigm is rotting. Map out the world after the collapse. Look at the world. It is not a free market. It is an extraction site. They want your soul through the invisible mechanism of debt. History is a loop of paper empires burning. We are at the end. The math does not lie. The fiat illusion is reaching its terminal point. Most will sleep through the alarms. But you see the strings now. Every choice you make is a vote. Vote for yourself, not the matrix. Do not be a line on their spreadsheet. Be the error they cannot delete. This is not about finance. It is about who owns your time. The cage is open. Just refuse to be the bait for their traps. The game ends the moment you stop playing by their rigged rules. This was the breakdown they didn't want you to see. Subscribe to Asset Logic. Protect your assets. Reclaim your sovereignty.